Morning, it is 6 o'clock here on your Thursday. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday morning. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is getting us ready for the day ahead. And Thomas, you're telling us about some showers that could be impacting our day today.
Yeah, just a few light rain showers. Nothing too crazy when it comes to that rain. I think we will handle it just fine. But realize that, you might get wet at some point during the day today. For us early morning risers, we already are noting that the ground is plenty wet. Looks like it rained from about 2 a.m. and onward in Spokane, but it has thinned out over the county. Instead, the rainfall now starting to coalesce kind of in a band that extends from Colville and Kettle Falls through Grand Coulee and towards Moses Lake. There's definitely a bit of a widespread rain through southern Washington, but it is pushing mostly northwestward, so it's kind of moving away from Spokane. But nonetheless, on and off rainfall expected for today, with our current temperatures right around 40 degrees, handful of 30s in central Washington, but we do get to around 50 by the noon hour today. In the afternoon, 55, probably more dry than not during the day, with incoming rain by the evening tonight.
A traffic alert for drivers in North Idaho this morning. A bridge inspection on US 95 is expected to cause some delays. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is near where crews will begin that work with more this morning on how you can get around the delays.
Yeah, well, the Idaho Department of Transportation is asking drivers to plan for at least a 30-minute delay. It could be shorter, it could be longer, but plan for at least 30 minutes. So that means you may have to leave a little bit earlier if you're heading out for your morning commute. But again, this is here on US 95, the Spokane River Bridge. And according to IDT, this routine checkup requires the use of an under-bridge inspection truck, which lowers the crews beneath the bridge while the truck is positioned on top of the bridge. With that, one lane will be closed to allow them to safely work. Crews will be looking for loose bolts, stress fractures, or any cracks on the bridge that might need repair.
Safety is a huge priority, and so many cars, there's thousands of cars that travel on these bridges every single day throughout the state, and so it's our responsibility to make sure that those are completely safe.
So the inspection is going to be taking place from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. IDT is also encouraging drivers that use this road to use an alternative route or just head out a bit earlier than you normally would if you're driving this road. But for now, reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
An update this morning in the University of Utah basketball racist incident in downtown Coeur d'Alene that happened less than 2 weeks ago. Police now confirming the incident did happen, and they have audio and video evidence matching what the team said.
So Coeur d'Alene police are now asking for your help in identifying this silver car that may be involved. Officials say that in a video discovered during the investigation, you can tell a racial slur was used more than once. Coeur d'Alene police say they have gone through more than 35 hours of video from local businesses to establish a time frame.
They say they are still working to figure out if what happened was a crime. If you know anything about the situation, you are asked to call the Coeur d'Alene police at the number there on your screen.
Washington State Senator Mike Patton of Spokane Valley says he is not seeking re-election. Patton has represented the 4th District since 2011. He released this statement saying, in part, it's been a tremendous honor and privilege to serve our 4th District in the State Senate these past dozen years. I appreciate the opportunity to work with all of my legislative colleagues on a variety of issues over these years to make Washington better. Now, right now, we do know that there are 2 candidates running for Patton's seat. They are Mike Kelly and Miguel Valencia.
It is now 6:04. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. In a matter of hours, there will be a hearing in the Moscow murders today. Brian Kohberger is accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. Today, the court will hear from an expert witness on Kohberger's motion to move his trial out of Latah County. That hearing starts at 1:30 this afternoon. And now to a story we've been following for years. A polygamous cult leader pleaded guilty to charges of kidnapping and trafficking underage girls. 48-year-old Samuel Bateman admitted he took at least 10 girls as wives. The youngest was just 9 years old. Back in 2022, the FBI rescued 8 underage girls from the cult in an Airbnb in Spokane. Bateman now faces up to life in prison. Gonzaga women's basketball head coach Lisa Fortier was announced as the 2024 Kathy Delaney Smith Coach of the Year. This is the first time the award has been given out. It goes to the most outstanding mid-major coach in the country. Since taking over the team in 2014, Coach Fortier has led the Zags to a 265-63 record. That's the best in program history. And Spokane Velocity FC cruised to a victory against the LA Force in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup last night. Veteran midfielder Luis Gil scored the sole goal of the game, his third so far this season. The Velocity now head to the third round, and they will learn who they are facing later today. That's a look at your morning rush. This morning, we're listening to your concerns about ongoing problems for some homeowners in Post Falls who say a nearby golf course is causing them some trouble.
So they say that a recent change there has caused golf balls to rain down on their homes, many of them even causing damage. So our Amanda Rowley talked to people who live there along the golf course.
Before Prairie Falls Golf Course completed its changes to its course last year, Richard Hutchins would only find an occasional ball or two reach his yard. But now he's collected 300 golf balls over the past year, some of which have damaged his home. Tucked away in the Prairie Falls Golf Course community, this yard, bordering the golf course, catches the eye of many golfers.
We've had people tell us that we have the prettiest yard on the whole course, but we work hard at it. You know, we're constantly working on it.
But over the past year, Richard Hutchins is doing work he wasn't expecting.
There's a lot of repairs that have to be done now.
Repairs, he says, are the result of stray golf balls leaving holes in his siding and his window.
You can see the break right there. That's the second time that window's been broke.
Hutchins recognizes these are risks that come with a home on the golf course.
When you live on a golf course, you expect a ball or two to come into your yard once in a while. The damage is what we're concerned about.
He believes the damage is the result of the golf course moving the tee box of hole 1 several yards closer to his home.
The hole has changed. It has gotten a little bit shorter. Inherently, that's going to put other homes in danger.
Head golf professional Joshua Greiner sympathizes with Hutchins' situation, but he says it's the same situation his neighbors were in before they moved the tee box.
If you look behind me, you can see that there's nets throughout the backyards, and those nets are up purposely, so some of those nets might not see as many golf balls now as we move the hole. But again, we're going to move the hole back a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
With help from family, Hutchins put up one section of netting in his backyard, and he'll put up more if that's what it takes to protect the home others have come to appreciate in passing. In Post Falls, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Time is 6:08, and we've seen a bit of some light rain showers across the inland northwest as of this morning. It hasn't been too much in the last hour or so in Spokane, but the airport's still reporting at least a sprinkle or a drizzle at the current hour. We got 42 degrees, one of the warmer spots for the inland northwest at the moment here in Spokane. There's Doppler radar to help us track where these showers currently are and where they are headed. It's all kind of thinning out for the most part, but some sprinkles over Cheney. But as you slide westward along Highway 2 or I-90, you'll definitely find a bit more widespread rain. This band of rainfall extending from about Colville to Grand Coulee down towards Moses Lake has been the most widespread rain, and it's building back in over Ritzville at the moment. So on and off rainfall through the day today, with the most widespread rain expected late tonight, close to about the midnight hour and through Friday morning. That'll be our wettest time frame in the midst of this slightly cooler stretch of weather to cap off the week.